Hi, welcome to Contributor Tutorials. My name is Sean, and today I'm going to show you how to isolate an object on a white background. When shooting objects for stock photography, it's quite desirable to have the background completely white. This makes it easy for the customer who's buying the file to make a selection and to add that image to a larger project or composition. As you can see, this object was shot on a white background, but we are having some textures and shadows that's preventing it from being completely white. I'm going to use Photoshop to make the background completely white. The first thing that we need to do is make a selection. I'm going to choose my magic wand, and as you can see, there's a tolerance up top. I'm going to take this value and I'm going to increase it to 40. I'm going to make my initial selection in the white background, and as you can see, it's already done a fairly good job. The only trouble area seems to be up near the dollar bill, and this is because the dynamic range or the difference between the background and the dollar bill isn't very large. So what I'm going to do is subtract the selection from the dollar bill, but to do that, I'm going to decrease the tolerance and thereby increasing the sensitivity of my magic wand. I'm going to hold the Option key on a Mac or Alt on a PC, which puts a little minus symbol next to the magic wand, which lets me know that I can now subtract from my selection. And as you can see, this is a little bit more sensitive than when we had the value set for 40. So I'm just going to go around and make sure that none of those areas are part of the selection. But going over to the right a little bit, you can see there is some areas that we do want to add to the selection. Holding Shift will put a little plus symbol next to your magic wand, and it will allow me to continue adding to this selection. I'm going to make sure that I get it right up into those corners. And again, anytime you see an area that you don't want to be a part of your selection, holding Option or Alt on the PC will allow you to subtract them. I'm going to go to the full frame, and as you can see, I have marching ants, which lets me know that I have a selection around my wallet, and marching ants that are around the border. This lets me know that what we currently have selected is the white background and not the wallet. What we want to do is inverse or reverse this selection so that we only have the wallet chosen. I'm going to go up to Select and click on Inverse. Now we've removed the marching ants from our border, and now you can see that they're just surrounding our wallet, so we now know that we have just the wallet selected. Now whenever we make these kind of selections, we always want to make sure that we feather the selection. This makes it look a lot more natural, and if we didn't, we'd have hard edges. The next step that I'm going to do is use the copy via layer command to create a new layer with just the with just the wallet isolated on that layer. I'm going to hit Command J on a Mac or Control J on a PC, and that's going to copy our selection to a new layer. I'm going to hide the background layer, and you can see that we do now have the object isolated on a transparent layer. Anytime you see that, or a transparent background, anytime you see that checkerboard pattern in the background, that lets us know that we're working with a transparency and not a solid color. Of course, we do want to have the background as a solid white, so I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to make sure that it's below my object layer, and now we need to fill it with white. I'm going to select the color picker, and as you can see, by default, we have the value of 255 for the RGB. I'm going to change this to 250 since that's the upper end of the values that we like to see for Veer. Once I have those values entered in, I'm just going to select OK. I'm going to go to my Paint Bucket tool, and making sure that I have the background layer or layer 2 selected, I'm going to click in the area which will paint the background with white. As you can see, we now have a white background, and the object is isolated from the background. The only step that we have to do now is to flatten the image. It's going to come up with discard hidden layers. That's because we don't have the background selected now. We don't need that layer, so I'm going to say OK. And that's it. We've merged all the layers together, and what we're left with is the wallet isolated on a white background. That's it. We're done. I hope this has been helpful, and please check back for more tutorials. Take care.